as the same optimism that you get from beating Bobby Montague in 2011 should make you sit back and be critical of your idea to challenge him so publicly, because that which was a victory for you in 2011 is a lesson for Bobby Montague. And if you look, neighbor, because some people only look at politics in 2025 because it's constitutionally due. How long now have Bobby Montague moved from the cabinet and sent back to his constituency?
Yes. I hear the PNP is suggesting that he should be in the cabinet.
No. The thing is, the PNP is trying to upset the balance of the JLP by trying to mix the politics with the governance. Because they know the moment the Bobby Montague was sent back to Western St. Mary, that the JLP infrared is picking up everything the way it should be picking it up.
But Casey, we have a distance to go. The listeners are on the edge of their seats. Get popcorn and Pepsi. Yeah, get a cup of tea.
So,
gripping stuff over here.
What that shows you is that the JLP knew exactly where they needed to work and how they need to work, and that's trouble for the PNP.
All right. So you are suggesting, listeners, let us review what we have so far. We have St. Thomas Western, St. Thomas Eastern, Portland Eastern, Portland Western, all forecast to be retained by the Jamaica Labour Party. The Labour Party is going to dominate the western end of the island 4-0, based on KC's forecast. And then we jumped over to St. Mary. We want you to note that he is suggesting that if the PNP is going to win the election, they must win St. Mary 3-0. All right? They must. So on election night, if you see St. Mary coming in and the PNP is not winning St. Mary, you know that they are having a bad night. And if you see the Labour Party holding on to Southeastern and the chairman hanging on to Western, you know that the Labour Party is having a good night. Back up a little bit more. Because if you see Charles, we're not likely to see James Robertson lose. But if on election night you see the figures coming in and Michelle Charles is winning St. Thomas Eastern, start burst your champagne if you're a Labourite, because the Labour Party is having a very good night based on that. I suspect that it's going to be less close in Portland, Eastern, and of course Western. But if you see Michelle Charles doing well, and you see Dunn and Montague holding on, then you know the Labour Party, Belmont Road, is going to be cranking up the sound system up there, because the Labour Party is going to be having a good night. However, if you see the PNP taking St. Mary, yes, and have held on to, reverse the fortunes in St. Thomas Eastern, especially if you see the PNP performing well in Eastern Portland, you know that there is a swing and the PNP is likely to win a close election. Let's move on, though, Casey. I think I have summed that up quite okay. The seat in Central St. Mary, how is that looking?
Central St. Mary, that's Nathaniel Maraj versus Omar Newell. And when I research this seat and look at the data, and I see the traction Nathaniel Maraj is now getting, and the optimism of JLP supporters in that constituency, optimism that I haven't seen for a while. I look back and I see the strength. I also notice the strength of the PNP in that constituency. And they are also very energized, and there is more traditional PNP in the constituency than traditional Labourite. Of course, the undecided voters in any constituency can tip the scale anyway if the challenger gets enough of them. It's how much can Nathaniel Maraj pick up. I expect the PNP to be as strong as they were because of Omar Newell. I think there will be less support for the incumbent MP if he had chosen to seek re-election. That's Dr. Morris Guy. Yeah, I think the PNP would have been sitting ducks in that constituency if they didn't change the candidate. I think changing the candidate have reorganized them, giving the PNP people fresh hope, because if you traditionally support a party and you really love that party, all you need is a little hope to continue. And the PNP don't have much as a way of hope, but a new candidate can really give hope, because there was nothing left for Dr. Morris Guy to say to the people. So I expect Omar Newell to hold on, but I think it will be a battleground. I expect Omar Newell to win, but there's still something to fight for from Maraj.
You are giving
I expect St. Mary to, yes, I expect St. Mary to go 2-1. Yes. As I tell you, I'm not leaving any seat
so
undecided.
So we have 2-0 in St. Thomas, 2-0 in Portland, 2-1 in St. Mary in favor of the Jamaica Labour Party. So far, yes, the Jamaica Labour Party has 5 seats to the PNP 1. We have covered 3 parishes so far. Who is winning the election? KC's on with your neighbor. It is 10 minutes after 7 o'clock. We're going with you until 9. We're awaiting Jamaica Girl and Mr. Wong. Please remember that after the forecast, we're going to invite your comments. All right. Let's move over to St. Anne, KC. Let us start with Southeastern.
Southeast St. Anne, Dr. Kenneth Russell versus Odian Peart. Anyway, happy birthday, Odian Peart. I think it's his birthday. Yes. Southeast St. Anne, JLP have gained a lot of traction in that seat over the past 4 years. And if you remember, in the 2029 election, the PNP held on by about 32 votes. And we all know there was a big JLP swing. But that's one of the seats we expected the PNP to hold their strength based on the candidate they had in that seat, which was Lisa Anna, the most popular candidate of the 63 candidate the PNP slated in the 2020 general election. She only held on by 32. What that tells me is not even having the best of candidate could stop the PNP from losing that election had the JLP didn't change their candidate last minute because of some COVID violation.
Yes.
Yes.
So we can move a little faster, please, KC.
JLP have found strength in Southeast St. Anne. I expect it to be a battle. And any election, Southeast St. Anne is a battle. It's an election that the JLP is winning island-wide. However, I still expect the PNP to hold on to that one.
Good. Let's move up to Northeastern St. Anne.
Northeast St. Anne, Matthew Samuda, JLP will take it by a 3,000 vote majority.
That's not even close.
No.
That's where Shahini Robinson was, eh?
Yes.
Wow. All right, listeners, there you have it. We're in St. Anne. The PNP is projected to retain Southeastern. Casey is saying that Northeastern with Matthew Samuda is an easy walk. What about Northwestern with Crystal Lee?
Crystal Lee will retain the seat for the JLP.
Crystal Lee will retain it?
Yes. Yes, it's going in the JLP column.
What are you saying?
Yes, she will win by 1,500 to 1,000 votes.
Huh. My goodness. Boy. And Southwestern, St. Anne?
Southwest is safe JLP seat. Xavier Main is one of the safest MP in the country. Don't watch him, guys. Watch the sale.
So the Labour Party is winning in St. Thomas 2-love. They are winning Portland 2-love. They are winning St. Mary 2-1, and they are winning St. Anne 3-1.
Yes, 3-1.
But this resembles the 2020 results so far, Casey. Nothing has changed.
Very much so. Very much so.
Hugh Blair, what's happening with the party? Let's jump up to Trelawny, Casey. Trelawny.
South Trelawny. Marisa Dalrymple Philibert will retain her seat. She is too strong for Paul Patmore. And Paul Patmore only hope of being member of parliament was to wait until this day when Adli Shah decided to hang up his boots. He would have been second in command before he jumped ship and went independent.
He was a member of the Labour Party?
Yes. Paul Patmore would have been the candidate today for the JLP in Northeast Manchester if he didn't jump ship with the PNP in 2011 when there was a PNP swing and run against a JLP candidate and won as independent. I think he won the Larimer's division as an independent candidate. That was short-lived, however. Larimer's division, where he's from, however, is the strongest division in South Trelawny today, even in the last local government election that the PNP was strong in. The Larimer's, the JLP won about 62% of the vote.
So the former House Speaker will return to Parliament.
Easy.
Wow.
Yes.
I see. And what about young Tova Hamilton over there in Northern Trelawny?
I will cast the last ballot in this one as if I'm the returning officer. I think based on the PNP tradition, based on traditional strength in that constituency, the PNP have it. It's very much like Eastern St. Thomas, very much like another constituency. We're not going, we haven't gone yet. But the strength of the candidate, Tova Hamilton, is a very strong candidate, and you've seen that in the 2020 general election, and she had put a lot more on her stack in these last 5 years. She is a workhorse. She's rivaling Rhoda Mai Crawford, Anne-Marie Vaz, Crystal Lee. She's rivaling those workers for the hardest working MP, Juliet Holness. That's the caliber of work she have done down there in Northern Trelawny. It's a wonder. She is light years ahead of Wicca McNeil in terms of a candidate, an MP. Wicca McNeil, is a Caesar campaigner, but he's from West. We know how West have been balling for an MP, that cares. He has no good legacy coming from West going to North Trelawny.
Yes,
That's
sir.
widely documented, and the people will know that. And then Tova is a proven performer. So if you're going to go off the traditional support and say, people will vote PNP anyway, so they will vote for Wickham, I cannot see any other reason I would give that to Wickham McNeil, because the last example showed me that people just don't vote PNP anyway. That's done. There have been political realignment in this country. And people are getting smarter and smarter every day. People have more information. Tova Hamilton will take Trelawny. They will send her back to God knows.
Is going to retain the seat?
Yes.
What are you saying to me, Casey?
Yes, and why we're able to call these seats, neighbor. Whatever swing is projected, the JLP has 49 seats, and the JLP is a well-functioning government and is a record-breaking government. The PNP haven't offered much being in opposition. They have tried a few stunts and gotten some attention, but that was short-lived. Now, as I tell you, everything is clearing up now. So it's back to where we were.
Yeah.
And it's me against you.
Yeah.
There's no cloud over the battlefield.
I want to make sure that I'm hearing.
There's no cloud over the battlefield. So let's show me what you have.
Tenny, is Tenny's her middle name? Or Teeny?
I don't know her middle name. I don't know her middle name.
Yeah. You are saying, sir, that Trelawny is also 2-0 in favor of the Labour Party?
Yes, Trelawny will be 2-0.
So let's review what we have so far for the listeners who are just joining us. St. Thomas is 2-0 in favor of the Labour Party, according to KC. In Portland, it's 2-0 in favor of the Labour Party. In St. Mary, it's 2-1 in favor of the Labour Party. In St. Anne, it's 3-1 in favor of the Labour Party. In Trelawny, it's 2-0 in favor of the Labour Party. So there has been no change so far in the 2020 results based on the research done by our forecaster, KC. Tova Hamilton is expected to retain her seat. Marissa Dalrymple Philibert is going to be returning. Crystal Lee is on point to win. Xavier Main is going to win Mainland. Matthew Samuda is on course. Bobby Montague, Norman Dunn, Darrell and Anne-Marie Vaz. Michelle Charles is expected to be returned along with James Robertson. The PNP's performance so far is not looking very good at all. However, the elections are not yet run and the votes are not yet counted. Let's move over to St. James, Casey, where we have 5 constituencies. Let us see what's happening over there. Tell us.
St. James is, I think, is the JLP's strongest parish.
St. James is the Labour Party's strongest parish.
Yes. And St. James have political fanatics on both sides. And the PNP do have their support in St. James. Their permanent support that will always support PNP. And believe it or not, they have it in across all 5 constituencies, as well as the JLP. So St. James is one of those parishes where if there is a swing or a party underperform, the other one will take St. James. However, as you know, if PNP underperform and there's a JLP swing, it will be 5-0. If JLP underperform and there's a PNP swing, the worst it gets for the JLP is 3-2. So that tells you that it's a strong JLP parish. At the moment, JLP holds 5 constituencies in the parish. 3 constituencies is not in play. Even if there is a PNP swing, PNP will not win in central St. James. Hero Clark will be coming home safe and dry. Central, Northwestern St. James, Dr. R.S. Chang will be coming home safe and dry, regardless
Yes, the
of
Minister of
the
National
swing or
Security with
anything.
a 37%
East Central,
reduction in crime.
East Central St. James, Edmund Bartlett, the Honorable Edmund Bartlett is
Minister of
untouchable.
Tourism, one of the best we have had.
West Central St. James have a lot of PNP support, but have more JLP support. And I don't see a PNP swing to suggest that the PNP can touch West Central. And the Minister of Legal and Constitution Affairs
up against
will
very
come
bright
through.
Dr. Andre Horton, who is a lecturer in economics, I think, at the University of the West Indies. I hear him making up a lot of noise over there. You don't think he has a chance?
Yeah, he made a lot of noise in 2020. And if you recall, there was a video, I still have the video of one of my devices. He was chastising their pollster, Dan Anderson, for saying he's behind by about 30 points before the election, and then he lost it by about 40 points.
Yes, sir. So you are saying that Malahoo Fort is likely to be retained?
Yes, she will be returned. So that's 4-0 in St. James so far. The battleground seat in St. James is South St. James.
Yes, that is
Homer Davis versus the gorgeous
very
charming Burchell.
Beautiful. Yes, very charming.
Yes. Yes. She should be the spokesperson for finance.
You said she's gorgeous, because she's gorgeous, you said?
She should have been the spokesperson for finance in the PNP, because when you look at her, you see that it is money well spent.
No, sir.
She certainly know how to spend money.
Yes. Well, I don't know about that. I don't know.
A few people will disagree. You know, there's Floyd Morris and others who will disagree. But yes. I'm able to see.
Voluptuous. I tell you, Casey. As a man, yes. I do not envy you. Though I do not allow my eyes to stray, I have to be focused on the Lord. Blessed is he that looks not on the voluptuousness of the woman; he shall be saved. Delroy, slowly behave yourself. You're from St. Elizabeth. The girls them down there brown.
Okay. However,
yes, sir.
In South St. James, there will be a battleground.
Yes.
And I expect Homer Davis to take it. I expect the JLP to take it, because the JLP is pretty comfortable in the other four and is very strong in the parish. And there's also a JLP incumbent there. Let's not forget. It's not a seat that you can question, oh, JLP cannot win this. No, they have won it. There is a JLP MP there.
Yes,
there is not a PNP swing.
Though I am hearing that Homer, that very beautiful woman, is gaining some traction there,
yes.
Especially among you know, Homer will hold on.
Yes, Homer is a proven performer, and he have been through politics, through the gears in politics. He is used to a battleground constituency. This is not his first rodeo there in the same constituency. So if it gets tight, gets tight, he knows how to hang on and where to hang on.
This is amazing, Casey, that the Labour Party will whip the PNP 5-0 in St. James.
It's nothing new. They have done it before.
Yeah, and a second round of 5-0. 5-0 in any football game is a bit of a spanking. But that's how you see it. 5-0 in St. James.
Yes.
Oh,
I would normally leave some as battleground to throw any other way. But I'm coming with clarity this evening,
Yes.
neighbor.
Well, we thank you for
And
that.
I'm holding back nothing.
Nothing. Okay. Let's review for the listeners who are joining us. KC, we are doing the entire island, the forecasting of the entire island. During the week, we do parish by parish, but on a Thursday, we look at the whole island. You can come back next week, because things can change. And we'll do this again. Let's go to St. Thomas. How did you see it?
2-0 JLP.
2-0 for the Labour
Dr.
Party.
Michelle Charles and James Robertson to hold on.
Yes, in Portland.
The Vases will take it home. 2-0 again.
In St. Mary.
2-1. Dr. Dunn, the chairman of the party, Robert Montague, will hold on. Omar Newell should fend off the challenge of Nathaniel Maraj.
Yeah, remember it at tape, PKC. In St. Anne.
3-1 in St. Anne. Xavier Main will control mainland once again. Northeast St. Anne will be coming home with Matthew Samuda again. Crystal Lee will fend off the challenge of Gabriella Morrison. I like her, but she will be no match. Yes, she will be no match. She will be no match for Crystal Lee, and yes. I think Dr. Russell will find enough in the tank to fend off Odean Peart. I
like. What's her name again?
Yeah, man, bad to bad. Them have the neighbor. With the
Gabriella Morris, I've sent her a message. Yeah, Gabriella, if you're listening, I sent you a message on your TikTok page. I want to talk to you. Yeah, kind of want you to what you saying, Gustav? All right.
Bad neighbor, bad to bad. Them are some surrogates, them are some supporters who just dip on the wrong side, to be very honest with you. When you listen to how them sound, them have real good interest to Jamaica. Just that
Gabriella Morris, please.
Not she,
not really. Talk
she.
to your neighbor, you hear?
Yeah.
And then Casey in St. James. What are you saying happening in St. James?
St. James. 5-0 in St. James. JLP will take all 5 seats.
5-0 for the Labour Party. Gustav, can you do the maths?
For which side, neighbor?
Based on the seat count so far, how much is the Labour Party and how much is the PNP?
Oh, well, I never did a register.
All right, so 2 plus 2, that's 4, plus 2, that's 6, plus 3, that's 9, plus 2, that's 11, plus 5. 11 and 5, Gustav, come on.
That's 17, okay. That is 17 easily. And 17.
16.
16, man.
Where you say I want to go, neighbor? You said 12 and
11
5.
and 5.
Oh.
16-2. 16-2 in favor of the Jamaica Labour Party. Jump over to
12 and 5. Hold on. Where is the neighbor?
11 plus
11.
5.
Oh, 11 plus 5.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, man, that is 16. 16 and St. Elizabeth 4 corner. Yes, so that is 20.
Wait, Gustav.
Hanover, sir.
Hanover. I'll share Hanover 1-1.
Hanover is 1-1?
Yes.
Yes. Lashika is a PNP aspirant. Who is that? I'm not so sure what's happening here. Jamaica girl, do we have an aspirant online for the PNP by the name of Lashika? But isn't Lashika one of those Labour Party? Hold on, I'm confused. Maybe my glasses is not working. Yeah, who is Lashika? Isn't Lashika one of those staunch Labour Party supporters? Has she joined the PNP? Has Lashika joined the PNP? I don't know. You are giving Hanover to the PNP forecaster.
Pardon me?
You are giving Hanover to the PNP.
Yes, I'm edging Hanover Western to the People's National Party at this time.
Yes, and
Hanover Eastern to the JLP.
Hanover is 1-1.
Yes.
Why are you doing that? Tell us.
Hanover normally split down the middle, traditionally. And Hanover have given a chance to the JLP through Tamika Davis, and she have done her work. At worst, she have done better than the previous PNP MP in the man that's gone to West now, Ian Hales. He's a former Labour too, you know. But Hanover Western, despite it not being a South St. James or one of those PNP garrison, it has strong PNP support, and the mentality of the PNP in that corner is as long as they smell blood, as long as they get any reason, hear anything to come out, they will come out. And I think they will come out in their numbers. There will still be a good showing for the JLP in Western Hanover, but I think the PNP will overrun them. Not so in Eastern. I think Dave Brown is strong, and he's used to a battleground constituency. He's not new to this, and he's a very good MP. And with the help of the party, the more organized party and the more impactful party, the JLP, Dave Brown will come over the line in a very, very close contest.
Yeah. 16 minutes to 8 o'clock. We have more than half the island to go. Let's jump down to Westmoreland.
Yes. Westmoreland, a constituency, a parish with 3 constituency that goes hand in hand.
Yes.
Yeah, because
I expect Westmoreland to maybe split this time. And I must tell people, Westmoreland has 3 battleground constituency at the moment. That could go either way. In Western Westmoreland, I think the JLP might have hand some strength to the PNP and some momentum based on marking their representative too hard, because at worst Mr. Wilson had still done way better than Wicker McNeil did. So he was still a better MP. The constituency experienced a better JLP MP than anything they have experienced in recent times under PNP. So from a political standpoint, I thought the strength of James and Miles and all the disgruntled labor in the constituency should have gone behind Moreland Wilson, and it would have been a pretty safe JLP seat, maybe even safer than Central. It would have been the safest in the parish for JLP had those guys worked together. But I'm not sure as to the unity as yet. I'm not sure as to the disgruntled 300. There may be a disgruntled 300 that may make a difference in the constituency. And because of that, I give PNP the edge in the constituency.
In Western Westmoreland, sir?
Yes. I still think Dr. James will be hard to beat. And I don't think Ian,
what's
his
case,
name?
I wonder why.
I don't think Ian Hales have a lot to offer, but there is the permanent PNP support that is there, that win, lose, or tie, they will come out. I don't know if JLP will be at full strength. And until I see JLP in full strength in the constituency, I cannot call this constituency for the JLP.
That's a flip. That's a flip for the opposition.
Yes, I'm calling West for the PNP at the moment. And I will repeat again, all the constituencies in Westmoreland are battlegrounds. In
Yes.
Central Westmoreland, no.
Yes.
Central Westmoreland is traditionally the strongest seat for the JLP in Central Westmoreland. I think whenever the JLP really gets it right in Central Westmoreland, the JLP can pull out 10,000 votes in Central Westmoreland. And I also think George Wright is the strongest candidate for the JLP in Central Westmoreland. Dwayne Vaz had won because of PNP popularity in Westmoreland, and he have not been a model MP. He don't have good legacy in the constituency. I think George Wright have outworked him, being a part of the best performing government. And I think George Wright will take it home. I think it's a win for JLP in Central Westmoreland.
George Wright is what a career he has had, you know, man. George Wright is likely to retain Central.
Yes.
Who is George Wright up against on there?
Dwayne Vaz, the only Vaz that will be on the losing side.
Oh, there are 3 Vazes.
Yes.
One you said will be broken.
Right.
Yes, they say Vaz are easy to broken, but incidentally, Dwayne Vaz is the only Vaz that have lost an election.
Got you. And then in Westmoreland Eastern?
Westmoreland Eastern, you know, Westmoreland is known traditionally as PNP parish. And for me to come here tonight and say that all the seats in Westmoreland are battleground seats, that tells you the strength of the JLP and how things have changed, how politically things have realigned. And one of the biggest problems the PNP have is telling themselves that most of these constituencies are filled with PNP and people will just get up every day and vote for PNP. People have done that for 40, 50 years, and there has been political and generational realignment. And no constituency is like that anymore. And Eastern Westmoreland will be a close one again. It will be another battleground. And I'm giving it to the PNP because I'm leaving none undecided tonight. And the reasons I'm giving it to the PNP. And remember, I'm not knocking Danny Lawrence. Danny Lawrence have been an excellent MP, a better one than Luther Buchanan. I've done more work. And I said it's a battleground that means he can still do work and end up on the winning side. But I'm giving it to the PNP because I expect them to throw a lot behind the General Secretary, despite the fact that Dr. Dayton Campbell have made the most mistake in politics with his mouth. He knows politics. You got to give him some credit for that. And he knows how to win an election, even though he lost the last one. Danny Lawrence also know how to win. He don't know how to lose because he haven't lost before. And I give PNP the edge in Western Westmoreland again because, as I said, not because I think there is political realignment.
Yeah. Well,
I still give respect to the political capital of a party in a constituency, and Eastern Westmoreland was the strongest of the Westmoreland seats for the PNP.
Yes. So it's 2-1 in Westmoreland for the PNP.
For the PNP.
Yeah, that's a pickup of 3 so far for the People's National Party. They would have picked up 1 in Hanover and 2 in Westmoreland. Dr. Campbell seemed to be on his way back to the parliament. Let's review KC for the listeners who are just joining us. Let's go to St. Thomas quickly.
St. Thomas 2-0.
Portland
2-0. JLP.
St. Mary
2-1 JLP.
St. Anne
3-1 JLP.
Trelawny
2-0 JLP.
St. James
5-0 Jamaica Labour Party.
Say that again, please.
5-0 JLP, St. James, from southern to northwestern.
Sorry, my headphones aren't It needs a little bit of adjustment. Turn up.
JLP will be winning St. James 5-0. Homer Davis will be
Did he say
returning to
5-0?
Parliament in South St. James. West Central St. James,
Sorry, did he
Marlene
say
Malao
5-0?
Fort, the Minister of Legal and Constitution Affairs, will go back to Parliament. She is a winner. The very powerful, hard-working,
Sorry,
another
did
one
he
who
say
rivaled
5-0?
the JLP hardest working MP is Eli
Yeah.
Clark. Central St. James, you can call it a JLP garrison
Turn up
for
the-
now.
Turn up the
There's
volume.
no chance for Janice Allen. Central St. James is a safe JLP seat. Northwest St. James, the party of the General Secretary, the man who has made St. James Jamaica Labour Party strongest parish, is going back to God knows. The best tourism minister the world has ever seen is Edmund Bartlett, and he's winning. He will be winning. They can't touch him in East Central St. James. JLP is untouchable in St. James, sir.
Sorry. My side of the thing here isn't working too well. I am not hearing you very well. Maybe I am shocked, or maybe I don't know. I don't know what is happening. Did you say the Labour Party is going to win 5 seats in St. James? I'm trying to confirm that.
Yes, the JLP will win 5 seats in St. James. They will retain their 5 seats in St. James.
Okay. All right. So we got that. And then over in St. Thomas?
St. Thomas 2-0.
No, sorry. Over in Hanover?
It will be 1-1.
1-1.
Yes.
Yes, and in St. James, in Westmoreland, sorry.
I expect it to go 2-1 for the PNP. I expect them to split east and west for the PNP. JLP have some unity to do in Western Westmoreland. I think they have missed an opportunity there. But at the moment, we will go back to Western Westmoreland another 2 weeks, as well as the whole of Westmoreland, because I think all the seats in Westmoreland are battleground. I'm giving JLP Eastern Westmoreland and Western Westmoreland, the PNP, Eastern and Western Westmoreland. I expect JLP to win Central Westmoreland through George Wright.
Fantastic. Let's jump over to St. Elizabeth.
St. Elizabeth is another of the JLP strong parish. I keep on using that phrase, strong parish for the JLP. St. Elizabeth is as strong as St. Anne, if not stronger. St. Elizabeth, however, will always send pollsters and news media in a frenzy because of the dynamics of the constituencies in St. Elizabeth. Yes. They all have their big pockets of supporters for each party. But at the end of the day, St. Elizabeth goes with the party that's working and the government that's working. If you are losing in St. Elizabeth, you are losing the election. And you're not losing the election, then winning St. Elizabeth. If you're losing the election on the island, normally you're losing in St. Elizabeth. And that's why St. Elizabeth is the parish with the classic weather vane constituency in southwestern St. Elizabeth. And we will start with that.
Yes, sir.
Remember, based on science now, based on proven history.
Remind the listeners that the Labour Party has all 4 seats in St. Elizabeth at this time.
Yes.
Yes.
The Labour Party has all 4 seats in St. Elizabeth.
Yes.
And
we have Delroy slowly online, the chief surrogate for Delroy slowly.
Yes.
Gustav.
Yes.
And will he have good news?
Yes, he will.
I see. Hold on there, Mr. Casey. Hold on. I'm sorry. The the seat count so far, Orville, you want to put that back up for me, please? The seat count so far, listeners, it's 13 minutes to 8 o'clock. We're going with you until 9. Gripping stuff over here. My goodness, we're doing an island, the whole island forecast. We do this every Thursday. 18-5 in favor of the Jamaica Labour Party. 18-5 based on KC's forecast. The PNP has picked up 2 seats in Westmoreland, 1 in Hanover, and therefore that sees the Labour Party seat count down from 49 to 46 so far. But we have a lot more to go. We don't have a lot of time. I haven't seen Jamaica Girl yet. I encourage you to tap the screen and to share the live and to send a gift so that we can keep the program going. All right, do that. Don't just sit and take in what is happening and do not participate. Let's continue with St. Elizabeth. That's the breadbasket parish, sir?
Yes.
Lots of scallion and tomato and melon coming from St. Elizabeth, you know. Let's go, sir. Let's go. How do you see St. Elizabeth?
Yes, St. Elizabeth Southwest. I will start with St. Elizabeth Southwest. And that's getting to the meat of the matter. Because you know where St. Elizabeth Southwest goes, the rest goes. And I mean the rest,
the island.
The rest of the island. St. Elizabeth Southwest is a safe JLP seat today.
Floyd Green seat is safe today.
Because, and let me put it into perspective, neighbor. When you have the stronger candidate, one of the most loved candidates in the island, for him to lose, and he's also a performing candidate.
Yes.
He's also a performing minister of government and a performing candidate. For him to lose, there will have to be a drastic swing against his party. In that case, I've looked at that.
Logically, based on your forecast so far, starting from over in Eastern Westmoreland, there is no swing.
No.
There is no swing, sir. As a matter of fact, things have largely remained the same.
As they were.
With a few pickup here and there.
Yes, and we have had swings along the way for various reasons.
Yes.
And I think this election will be really as we were.
I see.
For the most part.
No realignment.
I think we have had the realignment we have already. And realignment don't really take place every 4 years or every 3 years, sir.
I see. Stay with St. Elizabeth and let us see if we can jump over to Manchester as quickly as we can. We have Clarendon to go and St. Catherine, Kingston and St. Anne.
As I was saying, in order for a candidate like Floyd Green to lose, because he ticked all the boxes in a positive way, his party would have to lose a lot of ground, and the other party would have to have a big uptick, a big swing in terms of the optics and everything. The PNP is not enjoying that right now. And say the PNP come with a strong candidate and maximize their chances in the constituency, they still don't have the majority of the support across the landscape of the constituency, because the JLP division comes with the bigger number in the constituency. They don't have better organization. At their best and at the JLP worst, the organization would have been 50-50. So that's still not enough.
Will the PNP sweep St. Elizabeth?
No.
Did you say no?
No, the PNP will not sweep St. Elizabeth. You asked me if the PNP will sweep St. Elizabeth.
That's what I'm asking.
No.
Yes.
No. The JLP will retain Southwest St. Elizabeth. The JLP will retain Northwest St. Elizabeth through Andrew Morris. Norman Scott will not have enough in the tank to go the full distance against Franklin Witter. Franklin Witter have one of the best organization and support system in the country. And Delroy slowly now, that's the constituency, Northeast St. Elizabeth, that the PNP have stronger traditional support. However, if you check the last general election, they didn't vote for the PNP MP. They vote for Mr. Slowly, a son of the soil, a businessman in the constituency. And let's look at what have Mr. Slowly done. How have he took the opportunity? He grabbed it with both hands. If you remember correctly, it was widely documented and reported that he was using its own resources to do work in the constituency before he was a candidate. As a matter of fact, he got the most vote an independent candidate ever got in that constituency.
Yes, sir.
Then he went
having a fantastic night.
Then he went on to win the election, the general election, and stunned a lot, but not the people of Northeast St. Elizabeth, because they expected him to win. They were supporting him. So
Julika Jess, sir.
Now they have catapulted Zulika just down there. And she would largely be dependent on the fact, be optimistic on the fact that it's a traditional PNP constituency. But as I say, people don't vote that way anymore, especially when they have had JLP MP and see the work of the JLP MP under a JLP government. Do they want to be in opposition come the next general election? No. Do they want to vote out? Do they have reason to vote out this MP? No. When I look at the reason people vote, party loyalty, about 40% of the voters are to 50% in the constituency would be voting off party loyalty and say maybe that's 30-20 for the PNP. Another 50% would be voting on performance, likability of the candidate based on what you see. The PNP supporters only can talk about charisma, and not because Zulika just is charismatic. They're choosing charisma because she is a female and she is younger. But what the JLP is talking about is action. Delroy Slowly, the action man. He has been working before he was an MP, and is he really an action man? Yes. And I expect him to take that home, and I expect JLP to go 4-0. I expect JLP to go 4-0.
Sorry, sir. There's a loudspeaker passing on my outside here. I am not hearing you.
Yes, I can hear it.
Yes, and that is why we're going to change location, I think, next week. All listeners, it's 4 minutes to 8 o'clock. A little bit of Marcia Griffiths. Something is happening to me tonight, you know. Something is happening to me. Can you repeat what you just said about St. Elizabeth, sir?
Yes, I said it will be 4-0 in St. Elizabeth for the JLP again. Yes.
No, Casey. Are you? I'm getting all tongue tied here. The Jamaica Labour Party, you are projecting is to retain all the constituencies in St. Elizabeth, sir?
Yes. And the PNP also.
Did you do the work today, sir? That we hire you to do. We don't want no.
Yes, I've done the work, and I even learned that the People's National Party is worried about Northeast St. Elizabeth. But they one thing I must give PNP credit for, they never air their dirty laundry. You have to be connected within that party to know they are worried about. I hear from PNP that's PNP insider that the PNP are worried about St. Elizabeth Northeastern. And then I've been looking at the events. They are very interested. They treat Northeast St. Elizabeth as a constituency they are trying to take from somebody. The interest they show in that constituency in terms of PNP hierarchy and the PNP leader. And I hear they are scheduled to go back to Northeast St. Elizabeth soon.
All right. Let's run through the island again. Casey, you have it. Let's go to St. Thomas.
2-0 St. Thomas.
For the listeners who are just
for
joining
the JLP.
us. Yes. Portland.
2-0 Portland for the JLP.
St. Mary.
2-1 for the PNP. For the JLP, that's Bobby Montague and Dr. Dunn. I expect Omar Newell to come through for the PNP in Central St. Mary.
St. Anne.
3-1 JLP. Xavier Main, Matthew Samuda, and Crystal Lee.
Trelawny.
2-0. Marisa Dalimpo Philibert will win our constituency and help Tova Hamilton to win in Trelawny.
You say, call it, Andrew, call it. St. James.
5-0 JLP.
Huh. Hanover.
1-1. I expect PNP to edge Western and JLP to edge Eastern.
Yes. Westmoreland.
2-1 to the PNP. I expect PNP to take Western, JLP to take Central, and PNP to take Eastern. And I expect RC to be tightly contested, tight battleground in the constituency. There could be changes, depends on the party unity in the parish and the party performance. And don't be surprised if Daniel Lawrence do the work again, but I'm going with Dayton Campbell for now.
And in St. Elizabeth?
4-0 JLP. I don't see the PNP winning any seat in St. Elizabeth. The only chance they have is they rise slowly, and I expect him to take it in the battleground. Everything is pointing in his direction. I don't really see a reason for people to vote PNP in that constituencies, say, except for party loyalty. And we have had Exhibit A. We have seen them voting for the JLP before in the most recent general election. So
it's 8 o'clock.
It's 8 o'clock.
Let's take a water break. Let's take a water break. Listeners, we're coming back with Manchester. Coming back with Manchester and Clarendon. Can we do St. Catherine and the rest? Let's see how we can do that.
And also, what is going wrong, or what are going wrong for the People's National Party at the right time? First, at the start with the PNP, they would have had their weakest candidate at the right time. The PNP also would have had their weakest president at the right time. What is going against them also is the Labour Party has its best candidate at the right time, and also the best government at the right time. In an era where people are no longer rooted in the PNP, predominantly in St. Elizabeth, because they would have seen and confessed as comrades.
Yes, I want
this loyalty has not paid them enough.
I wonder if this good performance of your MP should not be credited to you.
I wouldn't take any credit for the MP's performance, neighbor. I would instead.
No. You have brought much focus, positive focus, to that constituency. I hear you all over social media, advocating on his behalf.
Right.
Yes. And now, remember when we started this, Delroy, that seat was not in the winning column for you at all, you know.
Yes, neighbor, and the factor that had the seat not going in our favor at the time was because of the malicious character assassination of Andrew Holness, and also the attack against the general government per se with misinformation, lies, and rumors, and those would have came to the forefront to be proven as habitual lies and malicious lies, and
Yes.
also neighbor. The PNP have not done themselves any justice on the ground. Let me tell you how. When they have the strength of their candidate, who is their weakest candidate, relying on their non-performing councillors who thrive off the back of lies, and you have a team on the ground that seeks to get people away from you using facts, neighbor, it is hurting them on the ground, and we will not relent in presenting facts to the people who are being fed the lies that would have gained massive votes in terms of percentage for the PMP in Northeast St. Elizabeth. Literally, lies would have gained them a lot of votes. And we would have decided that as young people on the ground, now this is separate from the Member of Parliament's work, neighbor. We are connecting with our peers, and we're not just connecting loosely. We have a targeted amount of, well, not amount of people, a specific demographic of people that would have targeted in terms of how we want to target them and what we want to target them about. And we have done so, neighbor, by presenting factual documents and arguments, and also supporting evidence to show that they would have been fed habitual lies over the years, and also, neighbor, generational lies. Most or some would have admitted that, look, they never knew this and they bought into the lie. Some would have recognized the lies and still remain over that side. But for the ones who are forward-thinking, neighbor, the PNP have lost them, and they have lost them, and we have gained them, neighbor, and we have gained a lot of them.
We shall see, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is Casey back? Casey, I think Casey is on a little call there. What a fascinating night it has been, Gustav. Casey, are you ready?
Yes, neighbor.
Yes,
Perennially, neighbor, the platform is delivering up to standard, real good standard. I mean, people are confessing that the caliber of hold on a minute.
You're on your bike, sir?
Yeah,
Oh,
people
my
giving
goodness,
reply
7
to
minutes
the
Casey, back to you, sir.
Yes, neighbor.
Casey, so let's jump over to Manchester.
Yes, neighbor.
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Yes. Yes, Manchester, as I told you before, neighbor, it will be an action parish. And I
Manchester
use
will be an action parish.
Yes. I pay great attention to Manchester, and I can always use Manchester to tip the scale, neighbor. Because 1993, 1989, the PNP won Manchester 4-0.
In 1989, the PNP won Manchester 4-0.
4-0.
Yes.
In 1993, the PNP won Manchester 3-1.
Yes.
In 1997, the PNP won Manchester 3-1.
Got that.
In 2002, the PNP won Manchester 3-1.
Yes.
In 2007, when the JLP won the election, the PNP won Manchester 3-1. In 2011, the PNP regained power, and the PNP won Manchester 3-1. In 2016, the JLP regained power by winning 11 seats that they didn't have. And the PNP still won Manchester 3-1.
Wow.
So it was only in 2020 when the JLP won 49 seats. The JLP won 2 more seats in Manchester to win 3-1.
Yes, sir.
Manchester is a parish.
Tell me what you're saying to me now. The PNP is going to sweep Manchester. Just tell me.
The JLP have won elections 2 times in the last 6 elections or 7 elections, and managed to win election with winning just 1 Manchester seat. The PNP have won 3 Manchester seats in elections that they have lost. So it tells me that the PNP cannot win Manchester to win an election. But if they lose in Manchester, they lose the election.
Say that again.
The PNP cannot win the parish of Manchester to win an election. But if they lose Manchester, they lose the election.
When you say if they lose Manchester, they only have 1 seat in Manchester now, that's Northwest. When you say if they lose Manchester, what are you talking about?
If they win anything less than 3 seats in Manchester, they don't stand a chance to win the general election, any general election. This or the other, any other one to come are the 7 or 8 before this.
All right, then. That means that, listeners, on election night, if you see the PNP doing well in Manchester, look for a close election. If you see the PNP lose in Manchester, it's a
JLP blowout.
It's a blowout for the Labour Party. It's an early, you can call it early. Take out your champion and your 2 piece of KFC and your 3 piece and start celebrate. If you're
and if it's a tie in Manchester, the JLP is also blowing the PNP out of the waters nationally.
If the election shows 2-2 in Manchester, it's a Labour Party win.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. All right. Well, that is interesting, Casey. Now, you have told us that, but you haven't told us who are going to win the constituencies. We need that.
Yes. Let's go in depth in Manchester now. And we start with Manchester Northeast, a constituency that is very dear to my heart. That's Ardishaw's constituency. All those 3-1 I spoke about earlier, that one is Northeast Manchester through Ardishaw.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So Northeast Manchester is the constituency in Manchester with the strongest traditional JLP support. And it's also a constituency in Manchester that have had strong JLP candidate, because before Ardishaw there was Billy McLaren. He was a strong JLP candidate. And Ardishaw is the MP for as long as most of us can remember, and we know how much of a political juggernaut Ardishaw is. However, Ardishaw is not seeking re-election based on reports and information I've had from other sources. So,
thank you, extending.
Yes, JLP have been seeking a replacement, and like they have done with almost every seat, they are doing their polls. They're taking their time, because this is not an election the JLP is looking merely just to win. They are looking for another blowout. They are not taking anything less than a 2/3 majority as a win, based on what I understand in politics and the moves I see them making. So they want to keep East Manchester.
Stuff, you know.
And I in my recent forecast, my last 2 forecasts, I took Northeast Manchester out of the safe JLP column, leaving Manchester with essentially 4 battleground seats.
Yes, sir.
Yes. And the reason I did that is because of the JLP machinery in the constituency. There are worried and concerned JLP supporters who sit down and wonder what is going on. So it's not like the base is not energized, because that's energy in itself. That's concerned supporters that are energized, it's ready and waiting on the party. What my concern is the organization of the machinery, that I know they have lost some key people, and I don't see them making moves to replace them by revving up the machinery. But I still think it's solid. I still think it's solid JLP ground, and it will be tough for the PNP, still the toughest one in Manchester for the PNP, and I will call it for the JLP. I will still call it a JLP seat.
Yes.
I still expect JLP to win, regardless of who they choose.
Okay, then there are 3 other seats. Let's go to Central.
Central Manchester. We know Central Manchester as, a lot of us know Central Manchester as a PNP stronghold. It has been a constituency that the PNP have had a strong hold on. However, it also has tremendous JLP support. We all know of the strength of the PNP support in the constituency. I'm talking about permanent PNP support of about maybe 25% of the voters. So, you know, I mean, 25% of the voters on the voters list
big up yourself.
is expected to vote for the PNP in Central Manchester most times. However, there is strong support for the JLP in the constituency. Over the last 30 years, PNP have had stronger organization due to the strength of a lot of business people that are figureheads, that are leading PNP
in
the constituency.
There are several persons listening to you from the People's National Party tonight. We're in Central Manchester.
Yes.
Tell me what is going to happen in Central Manchester.
What I know for sure.
Voice of the Nation.
The JLP.
Voice of the Nation. See you soon.
The JLP in the last 20 years have grown from strength to strength in terms of their organization and their machinery in the constituency. Too, ever since Norman Hahn ran for the JLP in 2002, the JLP have a strong machinery that has gotten stronger and stronger. Sally Portia's machinery was even stronger. Danville Walker machinery was even stronger. St. Albin machinery was a strong one. He was late to the constituency, and he done well. He lost by about 1,100 votes, but he have done well. Rhoda Mai, Crawford have grown even stronger and had the strongest machinery, as we could see. She brought it home by how much percent? Maybe 5 or 10%.
She won with 8,097 to Bunting 7,000.
What I do with these seats, I do it with the percentage instead of the raw numbers, because that's really what speaks. Because when somebody hear 7,000 for Bunting, they would say, but Bunting had gotten 10,000 in previous election. But if you look at the percentage in that election that Bunting got 10,000, the JLP candidate also had 10,000 too. So you can't put it on the bare numbers, because the argument will then be it was a low voter turnout. And what I keep telling people, a low voter turnout.
Let's hear what the results are going to be in Central.
I expect Rhoda Mai Crawford to win. I expect she to be too powerful for Donovan Mitchell. She's the better candidate, and I think the support on the ground for each party in terms of party support is even. And I think Rhoda Mai Crawford gives people more hope and more reason to vote than a Donovan Mitchell. And it's purely based on what the JLP and Rhoda Mai Crawford have been doing.
Let me take you back to what you said. You said if the PNP don't win 3 seats in Manchester. They're not likely to
Yes.
win the election. You have given 2
Yes.
seats so far to the JLP. What
To
is
the
that
Jamaica
saying?
Labour Party. The PNP is not likely to win the election.
The PNP is not winning the election?
No.
What are you saying to me, Casey? I thought that the PNP was winning the election.
No, the PNP is not winning the election. And what I have here, you know, neighbor, is
Yes,
the
sir.
reason people vote, the reason people will vote, the reason people don't vote. Why will they vote for the party? Why they wouldn't vote for the party? Why will they vote for the candidate? Why wouldn't they vote for the candidate? And every time I try to match up about 20 different things, and I come up with the same result. Because if I want to touch on Donovan Mitchell and Rhoda Mae Crawford,
Yes.
Donovan Mitchell have been in the PNP organization for almost 30, 40 years. He has been a councillor for the Royal Flat Division for ages. If you want to match up his achievement against Rhoda Mae Crawford, it's a mismatch. Despite the fact that Rhoda Mae Crawford,
Casey, that the PNP is going to flip a seat in Hanover and 2 seats in Westmoreland. You said that?
yes.
Yes, but they're not likely to flip Manchester.
No, and I'm giving you my reason.
Yes, sir.
I'm giving you my reason. I'm just pick a reason, an issue to give you. Candidate versus candidate. What the candidate? There's no new candidate there in central Manchester, you know. Donovan Mitchell is a known quantity. Rhoda Mae Crawford is a known quality. What Rhoda Mae have done over 8 years surpassed what Donovan Mitchell have done all the year he have been there.
But I hear her all over the media defending what she's doing there, Casey. Why is she defending? If she has done it, she has done it.
Yes, you still have to campaign. You still have to put your work out there. Because if Rhoda Mae Crawford do not come out, the PNP will still come out and vote.
Yeah,
I keep on telling you about the permanent support.
Huh?
Remember, 7,000 people is not a small number, you know. Neighbor, you ever see 7,000 people one place?
Yeah, but Mr. Mitchell come out and
I mean, 7,000 people still voted for Peter Bunting in the constituency despite his dismal record.
Yes, sir.
So that shows you that if Rhoda Mae Crawford don't come out and campaign and just sit back and allow Donovan Mitchell to make she look bad in the constituency and nationally, I mean, 2,000 people may just give Donovan Mitchell the nod, and maybe 2,000 people would have gone to vote for Rhoda Mae Crawford.
Yes, Casey, but you can't take up the road. If the road fix, the road fix.
The road fix. I see a PNP blogger trying to tell people that those roads are parish council road and it's the councillor. The councillors are the one that fix them.
Yes.
So you know, she have to come out. She have an obligation to come out and speak the truth, and that's all she's doing, because they didn't fix their road. They didn't fix the road. That is their responsibility, and they have all the councillors.
I see.
Because they're trying to squeeze her, and she had to go over their heads and fix them. Yes, she will be, because people don't have reason to vote against her, and people don't want to lose her as an MP.
And you don't think her posture suggests a bit of doubt?
Doubt?
Yes.
She's not trying to flip a story. She's not trying to use her university education to insinuate anything. She has just come out with the raw facts and is telling you where to go and get the evidence.
I see.
So she don't have to try hard. Why she has to be all over the media is the fact that she have done too much to say on one program she would not get the time.
Oh, I wonder why she hasn't come here.
maybe she's on another platform. Maybe she haven't reached here yet.
I
But
see.
she have been all over and she still have.
Yes.
I still know things that she haven't mentioned yet.
Yeah.
And before she comes out with all these achievements
Mrs.
and the things she have done.
You haven't visited your neighbor's platform yet. I wonder why. I see.
And
yes,
when I tell you what I tell you, neighbor, when I tell you what I'm telling you now, I'm not campaigning for Rhoda Crawford.
Nor am I,
I'm just giving you the facts that I have found.
Yes, sir.
And if it was the other way around, Labourites would be cussing me out tonight because I would have given it to you just the same.
Right. The listeners are reminding us that we are going to go until 9 o'clock. Now, I'm thankful that the listeners are reminding us that because we're not doing a minute of overtime today. But Central Manchester is particularly interesting. Listeners, let me tell you this. If you see Manchester on election night, when Andrew called it, if you see Central Manchester even close, the PNP is not winning the election. I can tell you that. And it's going to be a ding-dong battle there in Central Manchester. All right. Rhoda, I see Rhoda campaigning like Dickens all over the place. She have to know. Let's wish her the best. Let's go to South Manchester. Casey, in the half hour that we have, we want to give the listeners about 10 or 20 minutes to make a comment. We've been going at this.
South Manchester. When you go to South Manchester, you see a lot. It's a difficult constituency, you know.
Yes, sir.
It's one that has strong PNP roots.
By the way, Casey, the listeners want a review for those persons who are joining us. People are joining us all the time. Let us go quickly. St. Thomas.
St. Thomas, Dr. Michelle Charles and James Roberts, 2-0 JLP.
Portland.
Anne-Marie Vaz and Daryl Vaz, 2-0 JLP.
St. Mary.
Dr. Dunn to beat Chris Brown in Southeast St. Mary. The party chairman, Robert Bobby Montague, to beat Arville Woodbine. And Montague will poll close to or over 12,000 votes in Western St. Mary. And Omar Newell to edge Nathaniel Maraj in Central St. Mary, 2-1 JLP.
St. Anne.
St. Anne is 3-1 to JLP. Xavier Main, nobody can challenge Xavier Main in mainland today. Southwest St. Anne is called mainland, neighbor. Northwest St. Anne, Crystal Lee have it on lock. She will be beating Gabriella Morris. Good luck next time, Gabriella. Southeast St. Anne, Dr. Russell will have enough in the tank to beat Odean Pierre. And in Northeast St. Anne, it's a blowout for the JLP. Matthew Samuda will take it home.
Wow. And then in Trelawny?
Trelawny is 2-0 to the JLP like 2020. Tova Hamilton, same scenario as Central Manchester. Strong performing MP against an even weaker candidate with a history that does anything for him. The political royalty that the PNP expect to benefit from for Wickham McNeil will be the PNP downfall in North Trelawny. They shouldn't have put him to run back. They should have used a new candidate. St. James 5-0. St. James 5-0 for the JLP.
Yes, every time I hear that, sir, I am yes. So St. James. We're in St. James 5-0. You said yes. Casey.
Yes, St. James 5-0 for the JLP. Omer Davis.
Correct.
Dr. Horace Strong, the best security minister the country and the Caribbean have ever seen. Edmund Bartlett, the best tourism minister the world have ever seen. West Central, St. James, the PNP have flirted with the PNP before, so the PNP think they have a chance there, but Marlene Malawi Fort will be 1,500 or more vote too strong for Dr. Andre Arden. And Eli Clark, Central St. James is a new political garrison for the JLP.
Ow. Go over to Hanover for me, sir.
Hanover, I expect Hanover to have two close constituency. I'm edging Eastern. I expect JLP to edge Eastern, PNP to edge Western, but there will be fights. And JLP will be in the ascendancy, so things can happen. But at the moment, I expect Hanover to go a traditional 1-1.
I see. And then Westmoreland?
Westmoreland has 3 battleground constituency, which result in an island-wide win, big victory for the JLP, because normally Westmoreland would have 3 traditional PNP safe seats. Western Westmoreland, in which a seat with the JLP is very strong, but they have problem at the moment. I expect PNP to edge it in a battleground, a fierce battleground that may go anyway, but I'm giving PNP the edge. Eastern Westmoreland, very much the same. A more united JLP over there. A silent Danny Lawrence. Silent rivers run deep. I heard that he is a worker and he knows his politics. And he knows the PNP organization through and through. He's from that. He's from the deep waters of the PNP in the constituency. Don't be surprised if Danny come through. He have done it before. However, I think it's the strongest traditionally of the 3 PNP seats. Though I name it a battleground, I'm giving PNP the edge, fair and square.
I see. And then jump over to St. Elizabeth.
Central Westmoreland. You skip Central Westmoreland. I expect George Wright.
Parish.
Okay. I
So
expect
it's 2-1
George
for
Wright.
the PNP in Westmoreland.
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
George
PNP
Wright for Central Westmoreland.
will pick up 2 seats there. And
Yes.
in St. Elizabeth?
4-0 for the JLP in St. Elizabeth. I don't see
what?
PNP with 4-0.
I see.
Floyd Green, the Minister of Agriculture, will come through. The State Minister of Agriculture, Franklin Witter, he and his organization and his performance is too strong in Southeast St. Elizabeth for Norman Scott and anything. Norman Scott and his brother and friends in business down there, and the PNP will not match Frank Witter.
I see.
And in Northeast St. Elizabeth,
Miss Jess, you're not giving Jess the edge over in
no, I don't see any reason to give Jess the edge. Otherwise, from the PNP have strong traditional support. So if this is a constituency where I can say they will vote PNP anyway because they're just PNP, then I would have given just the edge. But they have voted JLP before, and I cannot see any reason for them to vote PNP because the JLP MP is working, the JLP team is working, the Jamaica Labour Party is working. The PNP haven't showed us anything they would do. They haven't offered us anything that we can see that this can work. You know, so I don't see a swing for the PNP. I don't see anything to suggest PNP will take that seat from the JLP.
26 minutes we have left. Go to Manchester.
Manchester Northeast, JLP. Manchester Central, Rhoda Mike Crawford. South Manchester is where we were when you asked for the recap.
Go ahead.
South Manchester, Peter Bunting. Again, we have to call the name of Rhoda Mike Crawford when we go over South Manchester because she is the reason why Peter Bunting is in South Manchester. And she is the reason why Mark Golden is opposition leader today too. That's Rhoda Mike Crawford, because if it wasn't for Rhoda Mike Crawford, Peter Bunting would have been the opposition leader today.
Tell us why.
Yes, because he would have been the leader of the party if he hadn't lost his seat. It's still his faction of the party running the party.
But then it went to a vote.
Yes, it went to a vote, but because he lost his constituency, he didn't have anything to come up with. You cannot lose your constituency then throw your hat in a leadership race. So he sent his friend, they put their money together and they beat Lisa Hanna, who maybe from a neutral perspective would have given PNP a better chance than even Mark Golden.
That's
she no,
sorry,
no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Peter Bunting would have been opposition leader today if it wasn't for Rhoda Mae Crawford. It's a very good opportunity for him to go back to Garden House, getting the seat of South Manchester, because it has strong PNP, I would say, roots. South Manchester is one of those with a permanent PNP support of at least 6,500 votes. A permanent PNP support of at least 6,500 votes, I would think, under normal circumstances. And it's a good chance for Peter Bunting. They have turned back the PNP by almost 900 votes last election. And the JLP then had moved their MP to another parish and come with fresh blood in Ian Ives, who the people of South Manchester really love. But I think moving, not necessarily moving the MP, but the MP not taking the opportunity with both and represent a mischance for the JLP, and that put back PNP in the race. And with Peter Bunting, say what you want about his dismal performance in central Manchester from an MP stand, a sniffer of a chance, and you cannot take that for granted. He knows how to organize a constituency. He's a former general secretary of the People's National Party. He has the financial backing. So I expect Peter Bunting to come through. And I know it breaks Labour's heart to hear this, but I expect him to.
Why would their heart be broken?
Pardon me? Yeah, they don't want, JLP don't want Peter Bunting back in Garden House.
Come. Yes, Casey. So that's 2-1 in Manchester for the PNP so far.
Yes. And then the big one is Northwest Manchester, neighbor. Northwest Manchester is a traditional PNP constituency, one that many people hail the strongest constituency for the PNP in Manchester, which is one of the strongest PNP parish traditionally. But this time around, Northwest Manchester have a JLP candidate who lost the 2020 election by close to 600 votes and get up on September 4, the morning after election, and started work again as if he was elected the MP. That is the man Damien is, and he has a way of making everybody see and know his work. He's not shy. He tick all the boxes. He have been campaigning for a very long time. Even when the JLP is not campaigning, he's doing his work and putting it out here. He's called the job boss by constituents. And everybody in the constituency know him as job boss. He's no self-proclaimed job boss. He have gotten the title from people he have helped. And this is no fiction. He have helped hundreds of people to get job. He used all the government organization and make full use of the opportunity for the constituents. He's doing all the things somebody can do that's in the power of them. And if he was the MP, he showed the people that he would have done more, because all that he's doing, the MP could have done it. There is nothing job boss have done in Northwest Manchester that Michael Phillips couldn't go to a government agency and ask for or do. Job fair, Michael Phillips could have organized job fair and get people job.
Yeah, but all this talk about job boss and yeah, we take not that away from him, but all this talk case, Northwest Manchester is a safe PNPC. Come
on. It was a marginal, it turned out to be a marginal seat last election, because 600 vote neighbor. If you lose by 600 votes and you start to work from the next morning, what you do is you maintain the momentum you had. And what you need to do politically, despite he's putting all the work to reap the rewards, but politically in terms of numbers, what he need is 300 people to switch, you know.
Yeah.
If 300 people switch from 600, we're even, you know.
Yes.
Because you lose 300 votes. So the margin is now 300, then I gain 300. So we're even. So in a constituency with over 30,000 registered voters.
Yeah. At my age, I am near my bedtime. I must tell you, at my age, near my bedtime.
And more than 15,000 did not vote last election that are eligible to vote. Do you think 600 is a big majority?
I think it is a fair majority, because I suspect that the PNP has regained some strength and will be a stronger party in 2025 than it was in 2020.
Just a minute, neighbor. Just a minute, Casey. Just a minute, neighbor. Just a minute, Casey. Neighbor, let me tell you something. And that's where the PNP is struggling. And these are where the PNP are struggling. This is keenly. You see, you have some constituencies that are hell-bent PNP ones. You see, even when the central part of PNP, meaning the heads of PNP, comes out with promises or policies and strategies, these people would have grown tired of misrepresentation, meaning they would even switch if there was a swing. Listen now, if there was a swing against the Labour Party, the PNP still would not come out victorious in some constituencies because of the years of underrepresentation. That constituency that Job Boss is in is a perfect example, because the people would have grown tired of the PNP. And in London, this is the Job Boss that would have also introduced some technological advancement in that constituency as well. And he's not the MP. And it is still benefiting people today, where people are being trained to be technologically savvy. And in fact, the gentleman, as I would have heard on the news clip, said that based on his findings, he would have seen that Jamaica is so much years behind in terms of technological advancement. So his impact, and he was brought there by Mr. Damian Young. So he's having a massive impact on the ground. So the people are growing tired of the PNP because of the underrepresentation. So even when the PNP are at its best, they will not benefit from it in some constituencies.
Listen, if Northwest Manchester is close, the PNP has lost. It's unless it's going to be an anomaly in terms of that seat being.
This Northwest Manchester will be a battleground seat, and the PNP might have recovered in the local government election, but that now have even made Damian Young and the JLP stronger in the constituency, because people who have seen the PNP rule for over the years are now even more scared.
But why would the PNP be taking seats in the West, in Hanover, in Westmoreland, and struggle in Manchester.
Neighbor, as I tell you, I take a lot of things into perspective,
Yes.
into consideration. The candidates.
Yes, sir.
The unity in the party.
Yes.
The inspiration. The hope that each party is given. And in this case, something that is different from those parties that the JLP flipped. The JLP couldn't have done any wrong in Northwest Manchester over the last 5 years because they didn't get the nod in 2020. They couldn't have missed any opportunity in Northwest Manchester. And Michael Phillips had the opportunity to solidify his support of the people by being a better MP this term because of the funds available in the budget and the amount of allocation that are made available by the government to MP in various areas. So what Damien Young have given them is the scrapses. He have accessed the thing that he can access while he's not the MP, while Michael Phillips could have accessed more. And Damien Young is also excellent in communication. He says that to the people without saying that. Say, look, I cannot access all these funds and all these grants, but whatever I can access, I'm accessing for you.
Yes.
He is showing
my bedtime case.
Yes, neighbor.
Yes.
I said it will go to Damien Young because he have shown the constituency because he would have been the better MP.
I see. Northwest Manchester is going to be won by the Jamaica Labour Party.
Yes.
Haven't done so since 1980, 89.
Yes.
Yeah. So then it's 3-1 in Manchester.
Yes.
For the Labour Party, sir?
Yes.
Hold on here. Hold on. Is Orville up still? Hold on. My hold on, Casey. Hold on, Casey. Listeners, this is bombshell political news. Hold on.
Neighbor, Casey is spot on, neighbor. Let me tell you why.
I come in. I'm having somebody do something here. Hold on.
Yeah, man.
Clarendon, we're going. Clarendon, Casey. Let's end with Clarendon. How you doing, listeners? Stay with us.
Yes, neighbor.
Anna, what's the breaking news, Anna? Good night to you. Let's go to Clarendon, my friend.
Yes, neighbor.
Yes,
Clarendon,
we're gonna end with Clarendon. We're gonna end with Clarendon. I don't have much more time.
Let's start with Central Clarendon, neighbor.
Yes, sir.
Central Clarendon have been in the news of late because more people are now aspiring to be the standard bearer for the JLP in Central Clarendon. Because it's expected to be a safe JLP seat, and it's a home run to Garden House. And JLP have a lot of aspirants.
Sorry, who is disrespecting? Hold on there, Casey. Who is disrespecting you, Anna, in the comment? Jamaica girl, take down those disrespectful people out of the box. You hear? If you come up here with disrespect, drop them. All right, go ahead, sir.
Yes, so it seems to we thought it was settled, then more people is coming forward with their application, and
for Central Clarendon.
It's in time. So there may be more things to settle in Central Clarendon, but Whoever gets a nod in Central Clarendon, the JLP will win Central Clarendon by 40%.
Oh?
Yes.
Uh-huh. Yes, sir. Go ahead now. Go ahead to the others.
North
There are
Central
6 more seats
Clarendon.
there, eh? 5 more.
North Central Clarendon. The Minister of Works, Robert Nesta Morgan, will retain his seat easily.
Yes?
Nesta will win, yes. So that's 2-0 in Clarendon so far. Come to the south of the island, there is Southwest Clarendon, a constituency that bother Southeast Clarendon, Central Clarendon, and South Manchester. That constituency is a PNP bedrock. They have changed the MP in Noel Ascot that they have for years when the people was growing fatigue. They have taken a very popular Lowton Cousins to put there in Southwest Clarendon, and it's maybe the only constituency that have grown in PNP support from 2016 to 2020, and it was already PNP strong. So I expect PNP to retain Southwest Clarendon with no fuss. So that's 2-1 in Clarendon so far. Southeast Clarendon now, it's totally the opposite from Southwest. It's as JLP as Southwest is PNP. And it has Minister Pernell Charles Jr. You know, our recent MP was Rudyard Spencer. You know, it's the harder they come, the harder they fall seat. Because if a PNP standard bearer come here and make a lot of noise, they will lose by more. And you saw that with Patricia Duncan Sutherland, she lost by over 3,000. Pernell Charles Jr. polled over 10,000 votes in the COVID election.
Yes, 10,219.
Yes. So Southeast Clarendon is pretty safe JLP territory, and I don't see a swing or anything to suggest it will be close or less than 2,500 come the general election. So that's 3-1 in Clarendon. Now we move to the Northern Belt, the twin constituencies. They go hand in hand. Northern Clarendon and Northwestern Clarendon. One impacts the other, and we will start with Northern Clarendon. Northern Clarendon is traditionally a battleground seat in the last maybe 5 or 6 election. Yes, I could say the last, except for 2016. In the last 6 elections, Northern Clarendon have gone to the winning party. In 2016, when the JLP regained power by 1 seat, Horace Daly retained his seat in Northern Clarendon. So Dwight Sibley's is a first-time MP going for his 2nd term now. Northern Clarendon, in the local government election that the PNP performed admirably, the JLP hold on to Northern Clarendon. It's one of the 2 constituencies out of the 15 that the JLP held on to in the local government election by the popular vote.
Yes.
Out of the 15 they took from the PNP in 2020. And the other one would be Northwest St. Anne, Crystal Lee. So it shows the strength of the JLP and Dwight Sibley's in Northern Clarendon. And Wavell Hines is not the candidate to take on Sibley's either. Sibley's is a better candidate, and Sibley's is a very good political strategist and organizer. He wasn't running in 2016, but he was also influential behind the scene in JLP victories. He organized constituencies and even ran as campaign manager in a constituency that the JLP took from the PNP in 2016. And remember, the JLP only won that election by 1 vote. by one constituency, one seat. So Northern Clarendon, I expect it to stay with the JLP. The White Siblings is a strong candidate. JLP is a stronger party, and I expect Siblings to win that. So that will be 4-1. The battleground seat in Clarendon now would...
Yes. 4-1 in Clarendon so far?
So far. The battleground seat in Clarendon now will be Northwest Clarendon. And in my previous forecast, because I tell you, I continue to work. I never stop working.
Yes, sir.
In my previous forecast, I said that it will be difficult for JLP to cover the ground because there is strong support in certain division there for the PNP, especially in Spalding. Spalding is a division that the PNP will win by 20 points easily. And Richard Hazan have been a mainstay since 2002, so he knows the constituency and he's used to a battleground. Credit for the PNP on that. Another thing though, the people of Northwest Centre knows everything that Richard Hazan has to offer. He has been their MP while in opposition, and he has been their MP while in government. He has been their MP while in government on 2 occasions, while in opposition on 1 occasion. He has made much of a difference in the constituency. 2 persons have beat him in recent times. 2007, he lost to Michael Stern, who is the deputy leader for the JLP in this same area council we are speaking of. In 2007, Michael Stern, campaign director, was none other than Warren Newby, the former G2K president, who is running against Richard Hazan in the same constituency now. So there will be no stranger in that constituency, but the only person who have fresh blood can offer fresh hope and inspiration is Warren Newby. So, unlike the other seat that PNP have been winning most in the last few elections, PNP does not have the traditional support, or the most of the traditional support in Northwest Manchester. Northwest Clarendon actually have more traditional support for the JLP. So all they need is an inspirational candidate, and there is none more admired among Labour than Warren Newby, and you can see that in just the race against another Labourite who is so loved in the constituency in Corey Dunkley. So with the momentum in the parish going to the JLP, Northern Clarendon expected to go to the JLP, Richard Hazan expecting to perform well and put up a fight. However, I don't know if Richard Hazan can win any vote or the PNP can win any vote in the constituency. Anybody winning any vote?
There are more than 700 people listening to this show right now. More than 700. Now I can show you my figures over here, listeners. The numbers are way past 700, and we are 2 minutes after 9 o'clock. That's what is happening. Can I take the listeners into what is happening here? You know what is up on screen there. I have better figures.
Yes, neighbor.
Yes, sir.
What I know. Only one person can offer hope and inspiration in that constituency. Yes. And that is Warren Newby. Only one person can win new voter in that constituency, and that is Warren Newby. We know where Richard Hazan is. We know where his support is and what it will be. And we think Warren Newby can beat that. And I'm calling it for Warren Newby.
No, but KC, that's 5-1 in Clarendon.
And that it's been 5-1 since 2020. And when JLP won by maybe 1 seat or 2 seats in 2007, it was also 5-1.
But based on what you have said to me since night, the PNP has only picked up 3 seats.
Yes.
I mean, we're not going to be able to go to St. Catherine tonight. Kingston, St. Catherine, we can't do that. I'm not so sure. Hold on. Listeners, what you say? Talk to us. Talk to us.
I think Warren Newby will beat Richard Azan.
The Labour Party is winning 5 of the Clarendon seats, sir?
Yes. They will retain their
PNP?
5 seat in Clarendon. Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
Yes. And it will be Michael's turn. It will be a very strategic of Neil Lawrence. People don't know. Let's give you some inside information. And Warren Newby with Colin Virgo and the team in Northwest Clarendon for the JLP.
Hold on. You are saying that you are telling them of the team over in there?
Yes. And
tell us again.
I won't repeat. You'll have to take that. Yes, it is a stronger JLP ground in Northwest Clarendon than PNP. However, PNP have a very strong division, one that will not flip, and that is Spalding. The JLP votes though in the constituency are far and wide. But if the JLP organization is good, inspiration is good, and the team is good.
What they didn't know is that I had a little thing lined up. For 9 about 9:15. I had a little thing lined up, So, you know how them things are go, Casey.
Yes.
Casey.
Yes.
I say I have a little thing lined up for about 9:15.
Okay, you got to do what you got to do.
Gotta do what I have to do.
Yeah, got to be a man of your word,
Yes, sir.
Your word and your appointment must mean something.
Yes, sir.
Jamaica girl said they say 9:30.
But if I miss out on my little thing, what go do?
Well, okay. I thought for some reason she was a secretary. I thought she was talking about that appointment.
Okay, sorry about that, sir. Listen, you were saying 5-1 in
5-1 in Clarendon for the JLP.
Yes, we are going to go to St. Catherine, and we are going to end in St. Catherine, and you're going to take me through St. Catherine quickly, and then I'm going to ask my friend Orville if we could just go to the seat count, and then we're going to have to wrap up. You hear? Listeners,
okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Go to St. Catherine for me. Quickly as you can.
St. Catherine Southwest, Everald Warmington versus Dr. Kurtwall.
Yes,
Everald Warmington will win by 5,500 votes.
No, sir.
I'm telling you.
What?
Everald Warmington will win again by 5,500 votes.
No, sir. I'm gonna ask you, Casey, to pause on that one and do a little bit more research on that one for me, please.
Everald Warmington will not need to campaign, sir. The PNP is listen. The PNP is energized.
I should have closed the program at 9 o'clock. No.
This is the best one.
No, check that one.
Listen, the PNP has energized the JLP base in Southwest St. Catherine.
Where?
All around Southwest St. Catherine.
No, sir.
All Everald Warmington needs to do is nominate. Don't miss your nomination day, sir. Everal Warmington is pulling out 13,000 votes.
Just a minute,
this time
KC.
around,
Neighbor,
you know.
just a minute. Anybody that would have seen his entourage at the national arena, well, when they come at the conference, can tell us what KC said to you, sir. It is literally spot on. Again, anyone that would have seen personally.
No, I am asking my forecaster to take another look at that one.
And I will double down on the forecaster based on the evidence that I saw for myself at the conference for the Labour Party. Warming himself, block up the highway, and even when them come neighbor, anybody who did there at the conference can tell you, Warmy pull out an entourage where neighbor look like KC's pattern. 5,000 gonna be the margin for real.
What you say, KC? You're not looking at it again?
No, I don't need to. Maybe if I miss something, I may miss a 500 vote, maybe not 5,500, but 6,000. But Everal Warmington will win. Easily.
What are you saying to me?
Yes, man. It will be the Warmy army in that one.
You don't think Dr. Wall is competitive, Casey? Competitive?
He is competing. He's competing, but the thing is, how can he compete against Everal Warmington? Everal Warmington have the constituency with maybe the most registered voters, maybe the biggest and widest JLP support, and he is a proven performer under a JLP government that's performing more than any other government have in the history of Jamaica.
But when you look at that constituency, Casey, and that with all this touting of Warmington, they lost one of the
listen to me.
Yes.
Listen to me. This local government election numbers, those local government election numbers are the numbers that's fooling the PNP and their well-wishers, because it gives them hope, so that's the only thing they look at. Everal Warmington's name was not on any of those ballots, sir.
Yes, sir, I know that.
And you will always see fanfare in the constituency. Look here, you know, PNP have enough supporters in Southwest St. Catherine to block Old Harbour.
Yes, and they have done it several times.
Yes, because it's a big...
As a matter of fact, sir, when I saw I was in that area because I covered nomination day for my channel at another time. I covered that, and let me tell you this: not the nomination day. I think it was for the local elections. Laborites were saying to me in Old Harbour that there's no way that the PNP was going to lose based on the crowd support. There was no way.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, a man said to me quietly, him say, neighbor, watch it for another hour and see what's going to happen. And I'm telling you, sir, I think they listen. Let me not say too much, but the PNP has very strong support down there, so.
Yes, they have very strong support because it's a gigantic constituency.
Yes.
It's a huge constituency. It's one that you can look to see cut soon. That constituency will maybe be cut in the next, maybe two elections after this.
Yes.
Yes, it's getting too big, and it's one with a lot of housing developments.
I see.
Yes. So there are enough PNP
I wouldn't venture this one just yet. I think there is something there to watch.
You think there's something there to watch?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm telling you what you're going to watch.
Okay, tell me.
5,500 for Everal Warmington. Majority.
I hear you.
and divisions that I don't think Kurt Wall division will come through for him on
Did you
election
see that
day.
meeting? Did you see that meeting over the weekend? Did you see the meeting, sir?
I just told you the PNP can block all Harbour Town any day, anytime, with just Southwest St. Catherine PNP, because it's such a big constituency. You ever see 3,000 people one place, neighbor? Or them enough?
Yes, sir.
But neighbor, don't they also benefit from the another part in St. Catherine that is PNP stronghold as well when they converge in Old Harbour, because that part of Old Harbour is also closely connected to another part that the PNP is very strong as well.
Right.
So
Right.
don't be fooled by that crowd.
They can block the town with just Southwest St. Catherine PNP. But if they can block Old Harbour Town, Warmington can block St. Catherine.
Aye. Is it? Huh.
Yes.
Well, let's see. Go ahead.
And it's the harder they come, the harder they go. And they will be going this election because this election is a third term the JLP will be gunning for, and the JLP supporters will be going for. There will be no JLP supporters left at home on election day.
I see. Let's see that. Let's see.
Southwest St. Catherine
yes,
will be coming.
You know, I may have to get out there.
Strength.
I may have to get out there on the campaign trail, you know.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And what I would advise the PNP to do in those constituencies like Southwest Clarendon and Southeast Clarendon and Southwest St. Catherine, connect with your voters and your potential voters and run a low-key campaign and see if you can build out a surprise. Because I see Kenneth Lambert in Southeast Clarendon in 2011 lost by less than 100 votes to Rudyard Spencer. Then the PNP flew in Patricia Duncan Sutherland because she had the money, she had the charisma, and she had the royalty. And then she lose by 1,000. Because what she did was energize the political base in the constituency.
Yes.
And then she lost by 3,000.
Move on.
She lost by 3,000 election the next election when people thought she was coming closer. She lost by 3,000 votes.
Fantastic.
Anyway,
let's see if we can cover Clarendon in another in another couple of
Northwest St. Catherine. I expect Damian Crawford to take it over Newton Amos.
Tell the listeners why. A lot of people wanted to hear that.
I think it's another seat with a big support, traditional support, broad support for the PNP. Very, very, and it's one that held on. The PNP held on to that seat in 2020. PNP held on when they lost 49 other seats. That shows you the strength in the constituency. And they didn't have a popular candidate. And they had a first-time candidate. And also Newton Amos was in his prime. And he didn't manage to beat Hugh Graham. However, just missing out by around 20 votes. I think he is very unfortunate because that was his best chance. I think Damian Crawford would have revived that constituency, and it will be too much for Newton Amos this time around. PNP is still PNP, and they still have what they have, and they still have their support. And despite these results that I'm giving you, the PNP is still stronger than 2020. So it's not like I'm running over the 2020 results. I also expect a stronger JLP. But I expect the PNP to be stronger in Northwest St. Catherine. Let's move on to North Central St. Catherine now. Natalie Nita Garvey. I expect her to retain her seat. It's another strong PNP constituency. And I don't see the JLP. It's a very difficult seat for JLP to take. Eastern St. Catherine. I hope you're writing down in a name.
Yes, sir. Eastern with Denise Daly.
Denise Daly. That's a PNP garrison. And PNP will take it home.
Yes.
Again. The other seat in the constituency that I expect PNP to win, there have been a lot of gains in this constituency for the JLP, and it's getting closer and closer. But I expect South St. Catherine to remain in the column of the PNP with Fitzjackson. I know he's not a favorite of the JLP supporters, and the JLP supporters don't want to hear that, but I cannot say merely what somebody wants to hear if I don't see it. I don't know if Delroy Dabley will have enough to prevail. I hope he does. I know he will be a wonderful MP. He has work to do, and I think Fitzjackson will come through. It will not be a safe seat or an easy seat for PNP this time around, though. It will be a battle, but I'm giving it to the PNP. East Central St. Catherine, one that the PNP always think they have a shot of winning. Orlando Terrelang is the PNP maybe most hated. Terrelang had made that constituency a safe JLP seat. Pardon me?
Little more break.
Hello?
Casey? I don't know what Casey's phone is.
Neighbor?
Yes, Casey. Did you say something about Terrelang? Yes?
Yes. I said Orlando Terrelang is probably the most hated opponent by the PNP because he single-handedly turned East Central St. Catherine, which was a battleground seat, even the cut for both parties. Orlando Terrelang has turned that into a safe JLP seat. And as long as Orlando Terrelang is the MP, PNP will not win that constituency, at least no time soon. Orlando Terrelang will retain his seat and will go back to Garden House.
What about Big Rob?
Big Rob, a very in fake and well, he would win that constituency easy. He would win on nothing. He needed to do nothing to win. That has a Waterford area, which is big for the PNP, a very big division. I think that have 5 divisions, most of them likely to go PNP. And JLP won that on the swing, I think. I heard Big Rob is a hard-working MP. I hear you have good organization. I also know PNP had put a lot of resources in that constituency. Their main propaganda machine in the campaign is Dr. Alfred Dawes. So they will be taking care of him because I can see they are attacking healthcare despite the fact that the health sector workers are well off, better off than they have ever been. The health service is better than it has ever been, but health sector is a soft spot and it's one for an opposition to attack whenever election time come around. They will be taking care of Dr. Alfred Dawes, and I think Big Rob will put up a good challenge and it will be a high voters turnout in that election. I expect PNP to come through by a few hundred. Battleground.
Yes. No. We're wrapping up here. You expect?
Neighbor, you hearing me?
I don't know. Not here in case.
I expect
Big Rob is going
PNP to take Southeast. I expect PNP to take
Is KC saying that?
St. Catherine by a couple hundred votes.
Mr. Slowly.
Yes, neighbor. I think you're having a disruption, you know. Casey, it's clear to the audience and myself. It needs to be tapped up. Maybe the screen needs to be tapped up. Maybe the live is being reported or something. Maybe we have to tap up the screen some more and so forth. We're hearing neighbor. We're hearing quite audible.
Delroy.
My neighbor. I'm hearing the neighbor.
No,
I'm
not here. Are you hearing Casey?
I'm hearing you, and I'm also hearing Casey.
Are you hearing Casey?
Well, Casey is on pause now, but I'm hearing you.
Hey. Yes, neighbor.
Yes, sir. Can you say go over Big Rob again? You're saying Big Rob will not
Yes, I think it will be a tough battleground constituency. I expect the PNP to prevail in that one by maybe just over 100 votes.
Yes,
but
that's a pickup for the PNP close. There.
Yes, it will be close. I am the JLP.
Oh my goodness.
The JLP went behind in that constituency during COVID and after, and they have recovered well, but I think they are still lagging behind a bit despite the work. And neighbor, I want the people to know that the COVID disruption is the reason why some of these seats are still close.
All right. Listeners, if you want to get the rest of it, you have to come again tomorrow. We're gonna leave it there, Casey.
But you know where all the other seats in St. Catherine is going, neighbor.
Yes, sir. We do. Tomorrow we will try and see if we can cover the rest and Kingston and St. Andrew. Listeners, what a fascinating evening this has been. Come up here, Jamaica girl. Let me say good night to you. Come up here. Listeners, it's a little 100. Go do it. Fantastic. Fantastic evening. Casey.
Yes, neighbor.
Well done, my brother. Well done. I am impressed with your research, with your work, and I give you a lot of respect for the service you are sharing with us and keeping us abreast and informed. Thank you, sir. Don't move. That's gonna be it, Jamaica girl coming up. That's gonna be it for tonight. What a great program, Jamaica girl.
Yes, indeed, as always.
Yeah, we weren't even able to take one guest tonight.
And the people still asking for more time. They don't want us to sleep at all.
I beg your pardon. They think that we can just work all day and night.
It seems so. Good night, Kerry.
You want to go and get your rest too? No, not you.
Yes, certainly.
What my listeners don't know is that I have to be up tomorrow morning at 3 o'clock because of other things that I'm involved in. 3 o'clock.
What you saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, mom. 3 o'clock. I have to be up at 3 o'clock, so I'm going to get a couple of hours.